Alright guys, welcome to the stream. Let's get started. So, let me just write certain things here. Get rid of that. So, watch list for today. Gappers include, by the way, Robinhood gapping up quite big. BYSI, and we have WHLR. Right. So as you can see guys, over here, as I do normally in the beginning, that's my watch list. Okay, I didn't put it on the chat, all of it. The ones that I'm mainly watching, that's the ones I put. So that's the main watch list, and then these are the gappers. Alright, that's what we have so far. If you're going to be trading a hood, HOOD, this guy right here, just be careful guys. Is quite rangy, and you must plan the trade way in advance. If you are just jumping in just because it's doing something, that's not a good strategy. Make sure you understand the risk you're putting in there. If you're going to risk 100, calculate where your stop will be, and then base your trade off of that risk. So everything must be calculated way in advance, especially for these. The last thing you want to do on these stocks are if things go sour, then you're just stuck. You're frozen. So we don't want to do that. Anyways, that's the watch list on the left side, guys. You can check it, but I've already posted it there. I am keeping an eye on them on the other charts, so I'll keep a close eye on all of them. Just let me update the list on my charts. Okay, so we've got not too interested in that. PFE, SAVA is there, SQ is there, hood, CLF, pins, just finishing out guys with the with the list. WHLR. Alright, the rest of the gappers, WHLR is at the moment looking strong. Just be careful on these gappers guys. Don't be very careful taking breakout trades, because I have noticed, and also it's the month of holidays guys, August usually will not have quite a lot of follow throughs as you would expect from a breakout trades. So if you're going to take breakout trades, just understand that it will not work as fast and as quick as you would imagine. But also if you can, maybe try to avoid certain breakouts right at the open. Um, just be careful on the breakout trades, guys, if you do have a setup that requires you to wait for the breakouts. So WHLR, as you can see, is rejecting from 440s. I always, on these gappers, small gappers, guys, I always have a negative bias on them. So basically short biased. So I'll look to short them if they do give me a chance, apart from hood, because it is something big and it's gapped up quite a bit, actually, from 46s to 56s almost, the highs. So we gotta be careful with this. BYSI, a really beautiful move up. I mean, look at this, 10s to 45s, and we've got just a fade off, and we might have more of a bounce on this. This could provide us with some good range, so I'll keep an eye on this. Either way, if it gives me a long setup, I will take long setup on BYSI, but I am assuming that BYSI will give us nice short setups. So that's the gappers. Not too keen on Zella. As you can see, the price action pre-market is not that great, but the daily looks good for our little bounce. So let's get started. Here we go, we're open. Now, as I said, I will wait around 5 to 10 minutes, guys, depending on the situation. Today might be 5 minutes. I will not pull any trades in that 5-minute gap, because my data shows that I don't do well in the open, right at the open. So I'm just gonna wait and listen to my data. Alright, guys. Okay, Zella, as you can see, bouncing a little bit. As you can see, like it's due for a nice little bounce after this really sort of weak moves last week or 10 days ago. So that's our Zella. By the way, hood is just going crazy. This is strong, and thinking about shorting this it's a really aggressive strategy. I might short this later. You know, I can't say never, but today, later on down the line, I will short it if there's an opportunity, but not about right now. Okay, as you can see, WHLR already fading off, and then we have, I think, AMC is flying. There we go. Our Momo scanners are actually picking up AMC. On the AMC bounce, guys, I really don't trust it. It might bounce up like few dollars, but it's gonna grind back down. So I have a short bias on AMC as well. Then let's see, TAL is moving. Poor TAL, really badly beaten stock. So today's moving, probably earnings. Interesting. We'll keep an eye on that. Okay. That's that, guys. I'm just keeping an eye on certain stocks here, watching them closely. See if they give us a nice little potentially good trades setups. Hood, crazy. AMD is flying as well. ARCT. ARCT 49s to that is this one daily looks like a nice little opportunity for a short. I will keep an eye on ARCT. ARCT. I'm watching AR. Excuse me. So I'm watching ARCT around 52 levels, guys. On this one, the stop will be slightly high, and also it's quite spready as well. So we got like 20-cent spread. So if you're gonna trade this, just be careful with the spread. So it's that 52 is holding. Okay, it's dropping from 52s. That's what I wanted. Just couldn't get in near 52s. I wanted to get in near 52s, 50, 5180s, 90s as well. I couldn't get in, guys. I just couldn't chase that. And once I tried to get in, it just washed quite quickly. So, wow, hood. Are you kidding me? That's a whew. That's a halt. That is crazy move. That's just as I said, you know, shorts on this one. It's just too risky, huge risk on it. But later on, hopefully, it will provide us with something. That is crazy. We're talking from 46s to 66s almost. $20. That is crazy. Crazy. Okay. ARCT, we might have missed this, guys. I really wanted that near. I mentioned this 52 areas. Just too quick for me. Sometimes it can do that. Just because it's quick doesn't mean I have to be quick in entry. In fact, that's when I should be slowing down, because that's when your mind starts to rush and race. So we're gonna take it easy. Might give us a chance later on. Okay, this one looks interesting. Daily looks interesting as well. 2340s, 50s and 80s. Right, guys, I am looking at this UAA for a possible short. I'm waiting for this area at the moment right now to hold 2350s, 40s. Once it does, it's starting to look like it's holding, guys, so I'm gonna look to short this UAA. UAA looking to short it, starting small. I've chased it a little bit, guys. 2330 right here somewhere. 32s, 2332s. Yeah, pink is fine. So my ideal entry would have been 2340s. I will add to it with the risk over 2351s, guys. So I am planning to add more to it if it starts to come back up and starts to hold. So just a small entry starter, 2330s, and then maybe 2340s and 2345s. Already it's working out nicely. This is working out nice. We want that 2310s to break. If not, it might bounce back to our entry. Looking good. Alright, so it's going down. Looking good. UAA is looking good, guys. We want that 23 to break for it to actually really work for us. We want that 23 to break. But having said that, just before 23, guys, take some out. In this case, because it's a bit still early, it could bounce from 23s. There is 200 EMA as well. Remember 200 EMA? I mentioned that so many times, almost every single stream. Don't ignore it. 2308. As soon as it touches, I mean, it didn't even touch and it's bouncing now. I didn't get the chance to take some out, but I want to see it touch that 2303s or 04s and see how it reacts there. Okay, there we go. Alright, 2305s. It's bouncing off of it. Okay, give us more chance to take some out. Come on now. By the way, our stop obviously right now is going to be just over here, guys. Now if it does come back up and breaks that, I'm not interested because it's already done its move. So what we don't want to see on this one is basically coming back to our entries. Yeah, we will always get a chance to enter later on if it does break 23s. We will hopefully, but in the meantime I'm not going to rush entering or adding. So far looking good, guys. Should have taken some out. I am looking to 2305s. I am still looking to take some out. 05s. Right, 06s unfortunately I couldn't get a better price. 2306s I took some out. 2306s. Right guys, so basically almost 2 to 1 on the risk. We already took the partial out, and then if it does come back and stop us out on the on our stop, that's fine. We will still make money on it. So it goes. Now here's the thing with this, guys. As I mentioned, 23 is gonna hold and bounce. I mean, there is 200 EMA as well. Have a look at this, guys. Just a touch on it, and look at that bounce. You know, a lot of people, especially coming into trading as a beginner, you want to find a setup. Pay attention to 200 EMA. You know, that's the easiest setup I can give you. Have a you know, go at this 200 EMA bounces, but it is quite a bit of how do I call it, scalper setup. So you want to take, so on the bounces you want to take like 10-20 cents, not more than that. But you have to do your obviously research on it. I have done mine. It does on average it will bounce like 10 to 20 cents from the 200 EMA most cases. So that's the easiest setup you can apply, and just build up on it. There it goes. There was another entry, 23, 24s, 20s. I didn't take it, honestly. I should have, because I had taken one out. I have taken one partial out. Interesting. If it does come back again to 200 EMA, 23 areas, it might break it with nice force, guys. So that add here would have been really beautiful. But if you had added there, then your stop would go straight away to break even. Right? To break even, guys. But I want to have some room on it, so I'm just going to leave my stop just about 23.45s. $3.24s. Alright, it's coming back up to our entry. Right now I want to see if the VWAP area holds. Ideally between 23 to 2330s to 40s. If that zone holds, then we've got another add point here, guys. A much better add point, in fact. This is the zone that needs to hold, guys. Alright, in that zone we want to see if it's rejecting from this area here. If it doesn't, then we'll get out on the last portion. Right, still in it, guys. I want to make sure that it's not just a wick and it's a proper move up. Alright, I'm looking to get out. 2344s, 45s. Okay, 46 I will come out, guys. Now I know that the 45's held. 46 I'm gonna come out. Right. You see this, guys? It's holding. This is what I mean by you don't want to get out on the wick. It usually does that to a level once it breaks it. Probably stop runs, but you know, once it creates a wick, then you can put your stop. Right now I'm out 2346. Now it confirms that yes, it wants to continue, as you can see, guys. So that's a much better risk management there, because in most cases what you will find is this will wick out and then come down, right? So that's what you want to avoid. Still on this one, slight, I would say slight green. If you have taken 50% off, I didn't have a lot on it anyways, so you know, I took half here, so just about green on it. By the way, guys, WHLR has just halted, I believe. Let me check. WHLR. Yep, it is halt. So from 4s to 450s. So basically halt, circuit breaker halts are basically most cases 10% move in a very short amount of time. So that's what happened here, and now it's open. WHLR is open and it's gonna be quite choppy. What do I see? Anything else? PFE is about to reverse. Okay, this PFE is looking like it wants to reverse as it's been going down pre-market. It wants to bounce now, so there is a potential for a long on PFE. I am looking at PFE for a potential long, but we have to wait. I want to see if this if it does come back to 20, 40, 45, 40s, and if it does, then yes, I'll take some and I'll wait for our risk basically on the break of VWAP 45, 30s, but we want to make sure that it breaks it properly, not just wicks us out. So PFE, definitely there is a chance here for a long. I will even start small on this if it does give me a little bit of a pullback. No, it doesn't want to, so I'm gonna start small on it, guys. I'm gonna start small just before 51s. Yeah, actually I got 48. Managed to get 48, lovely. I am starting small on it because it's a breakout, and here we are. Now what I do expect a pullback on it, which is fine because that's how I managed my risk on it. If it does come back and pulls back to 45.40s, I'm fine with it as long as it doesn't break the 30s. So our area for a stop is around 45.30s, guys. There we go. That's our long. I really wanted to add more to it, but it will give us a chance, guys. If it does bounce, it might bounce with some strength. Okay. Sophie. Ooh, okay. Sophie. 1591, 16. 16s are holding. It's unchanged and the economic continues to show strength. Okay. Right. There's some catalyst behind it why Sophie is moving. UA is attacking the highs. If it does start to fail off of 20s, 1995s, there's a chance that it will provide us with good short opportunity, guys. It's one of my setups right about here, 20 level, this zone here, guys, which it's rejecting from now as an area actually for a nice short. So I am keeping an eye on UA for a possible short, guys. Oh, come on, UA. You didn't give us a chance. I really wanted to close the 1990s. That's fine. And hood, it's halt going down, so that's no good. Usually if it does halt going down, the panic sets in a bit more aggressively than halt going up. So in this case I think 72 halts might drop down 70s, 68s. That's usually the case, but it might not be in this. Okay, hood is just open. Actually, surprisingly, it didn't go down. So this has some strength behind it. Yep, as you can see, it's just going crazy again. Crazy price action on hood. Now that's no good. That's gonna be another halt. Wow, it's extremely volatile. PFE, guys, I'm adding some PFE right about here. Just got in some 45.52s. There we go. I've added some. And I'm okay with this, guys. I don't need to add more. If it does give me a chance to add, definitely I will. but I've the stop, by the way, 45.30 is just under that. Alright, PFE is coming down. So we're going to see how it reacts around the VWAP area. What we don't want to see is on this wash volume coming in. If it does, then chances of VWAP breaking will be high. There's quite a lot of opportunities today. I'm watching on ON. Really nice 45.65s, 580s. I'm watching on, guys. For a possible short, by the way, guys. For a possible short on. Just about now, actually. Starting small now. I'm gonna start small. 45.64s. I'm starting small, guys. Now, the thing is with this one, the main area for me is this area, guys. So if it does come back to this zone here, this zone, I will add to it, but I've started small again, just not to miss. If it does run from here, I don't want to miss that. So I just started small. If it does come back to zone again, I will add to it with a stop close to 46s, maybe before that. Okay, on. Okay, PFE, I'm gonna be coming out of it, guys. If it breaks this right about now, I'm out. I'm out PFE, guys, because it's bringing in some volume, guys, when it's dropping. So I'm not gonna wait for it to take out my stop. So I'm out here, guys. Yeah, because it's bringing that volume, and right now it looks like it wants to break that VWAP. So I'll be coming out. I am out on it. I'll be waiting for another opportunity on this later on, maybe for a short. Let's have a look at our on. Okay, on is coming back up to that zone there. Right. So we are gonna look. That. And as you can see, guys, PFE, sometimes you have to arrange your stop as well. Looking at the price action, if you can actually save some extra cents, it helps along the way. So in this case, it would have taken us out around 245, 28s, 29s, but I saw the price action volume coming in as it was dropping, so clearly showing sign of weakness, and so that's why I had to exit it early. So I saved myself around I would say about 7-8 cents there. Not bad. Still short on ON. Where is it? Here. And it's on that zone, guys. Just keep an eye on that. right now. There's a chance for us to add if it does break, reject from that zone here, guys. 4580s, really nice area. There's potential resistance there. 4580s. Right, this area needs to hold. Now if it does close above the VWAP, I'll start to get out. Wouldn't wait for it to go up to 46, but so far it's holding nicely. So 4577s, 4577s. Yes, 4577s. So I've added here, guys, 4577s. And then once it starts to work out, we can put our stop just over this high, guys, where it got rejected from. So 4585s, 88s. So right now, nice rejection from that area, from that zone, and we are good to go. So our stop will be somewhere here. So stop is there, guys. Actually, PFE was a nice little short here, guys. Right here. I just might have missed it, actually. That's breaks down, comes back, and cannot move up. So yeah, there was a good short there, but that's fine. PFE. I feel like PFE is. I'm watching this. Okay, on is bouncing from. So on is bouncing here, guys, right where it bounced from before. Oh, this headphone is killing my ears. Right. So what we want on is basically to break this low here, 4550s in fact. And then it'll give us that 4540s. We'll take that. Alright, looking good, looking good. Come on. Wash up to 4540s. Okay. Right, guys. Pins also. Pins. Looking really good for a breakdown. Right about now. 5970s. It's already breaking down though. When I saw it, it was here, guys, because the volume was coming in. But still, keep an eye on this. If it does come back to 5980s and starts holding, there's a short there. I will keep an eye on this. If I do miss it, you guys can take it. Complete rejection from that previous high, 70s, sorry, 61s. Right, let's have a look. Okay, on looking good. On looking good, guys. Coming up to that 2540s. Let's see if it wants to reach there. Over there, 4540s. I will take my partial, guys. Definitely, I'll take some partial, especially this ad here. That ad is going to be taken out here, guys. So I am looking forward to hitting 4540s. Looking good, looking good. It looks heavy. Once it breaks that, I'm thinking that 200 EMA is going to be a problem. I am watching it, definitely. Come on, come on. 4540s. 4540s. Ah, it's bouncing off before it. That bounce is strong, but there's not enough volume there, so it's coming up now to our zone again. See, this bounce was strong, guys. It's 4540s, barely touched it. See, the issue here is this move is happening without strength of a volume coming in, so I just don't trust this move up that much, honestly, on it. But since it's clearly moving strongly, I can't obviously ignore that as well. So if it starts to break that 4590s, I'll start to get out on it. I feel like this is gonna wick. It's gonna wick and come back. So that this area here, guys, my mental stop is there. So it's slightly rejecting from that zone here. What we want is the just continuation from there. Bigger bar, bigger red bar. If not, then if this gets taken out, then yeah, I'll come out of it, guys. 45.91s, those areas, because it is, that zone is holding so far, but as it attacks it, it gets higher and higher. That's my main worry. So that zone basically is getting weaker and weaker, and it will get taken out if it starts to obviously keep attacking it. But if it does reject really nicely, then it might be a good trade up until 45.40s. But let's see if it takes me out. 45.91s, 45.90, let's say 92s. If this bar closes like that, guys, it might be a chance for us to enter as well. Sorry, add, because the volume, as you can see, is coming in slowly, not much, but this is what I mean by, you see that the volume, right, not much of a volume, but as this is happening, guys, the volume is coming in more. So yeah, there's a good chance for an add here. I'm going to try and add 474s, 75 6s. Waiting on the add. Looks like it wants to hold. $45, $75, $76s, $74s. Okay, I'm gonna add $74s, guys. $74s. Still a chance for us to add. Even better price. $77s. Our stop is still here, guys. 45.92s, 91s. Okay, let's see. Okay, still waiting on. I feel like it's going into a congestion zone, chop zone. So in that case, I'm just gonna leave my stop there and let it work out. Be patient with it. SAVA, by the way, is moving. SAVA. SAVA is moving, trying to attack that high of day, 87s. If it does take that out, it might actually move. But then again, as I said before, guys, these times breakouts will tend to wick you out. So just be careful with the breakouts. This will be a big breakout trade. So what you could do, however, is if it does break that 87s and if it does come back to that area, then you can take it on the pullback. Let's have a look at the momos. Can nothing. Futu. Don't know what they. Okay, that's Invax is not bad. Strong. It's not bad. Roblox is going crazy. Riot is going. I'm sure BTBT is going as well. Then in that case, SPRT. UA is about to break the highs, guys. UA, and we traded the other counterpart of this, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, UA. Yeah, same thing, guys. As you can see, UA is already hitting that highs. Interesting. Okay, SAVA is failing off of that 87. SAVA is failing off of that. Also, guys, keep an eye on HOOD. HOOD is calming down. What that means is getting ready for another move. It might take a while for it to actually take these 70s out, but I feel like it's getting ready slowly. So keep an eye on it. It's already done a 50% move. If I were to draw a Fibonacci, as you can see, guys, it's actually like 60% move. I mean that wick, let's not count that wick, let's just say, yeah, around 60% move. So the retracement is actually really larger than I would have liked on this. I would have liked at least 50% hold, and right now it seems weak to me because it's come down under a 38 and 50% retracement, which means that it might not be a pullback, it might actually be a reversal. So if you're gonna take long, just keep your risk tight. Try a few times if you need to. Right now 66, over 66, over 66 I would be comfortable entering long on it. 66, but you stop quite a lot of stuff, 62s, so $4 stop. But if you want to be really tight, you can keep it under 64, so $2 stop. Right, I don't like the way ON is trading, guys, ON, because See, basically it wanted to wash down, but it didn't, and it's starting to climb back up. Still, that area is acting as a resistance, and it's still active. So I am okay with keeping the stop 4590s, 91s. If it takes me out, it takes me out, no problems. See, now volume is coming in a little bit. If I can show you like that, yeah, this is not good. See that rising volume? If it starts to rise more, then it's going to take that resistance out quite clearly. See, it's giving you a sign already. So 4592s, I'll be out, guys. 4592s. So let's see. I think it's going to take out. It's going to take it out. Yep. Or maybe not. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Actually, this volume still, I believe, is going to take it out. 4592s is going to take it out 100%. Look at this volume coming in. Unless there's a lot of short sellers there. I mean, I don't see a point of short sellers being there anymore. If anything, it will be closer to 46s. So I don't think they will be here at 4592s. So it's about to take us out. Surprisingly holding nicely 4592s with this much volume coming in. Right, guys, so on the break of that, as in 4592s, I'll be out. If we have a rejection from that area, then that means that this zone was actually stronger than we anticipated, and it's held nicely. But I believe it's gonna break it because of that volume coming in eventually. What we will see probably is a little bit of a price action here, a little bit congested price action, and then woof, it goes towards 46s, and then we'll see. There it goes. I'm out. As I mentioned, yes, it's gonna take me out. It did. The reason why I didn't take it earlier is because that area was holding up nicely. Sometimes what I've seen is it will try to attack that zone and then starts rejecting from it for real. It will just try to weak people out and then go and make its move. In this case, it was not, because the volume was rising. So I was okay with keeping my stop there. So right now it's rejecting from the 46 area here, right there, this zone here, guys. And that zone will require a little bit more volume than this for it to break. So just remember, it's gonna take up more momentum than this to break that 46. Hey Jessica, welcome back. How are you? Right? So it's now attacking that 46 area, guys. Let's see if it wants to take it out. According to the volume, it wants to. But we'll see if 46s are strong enough to hold. Maybe they're not. It's breaking up. So I mean, it hasn't broken yet. It could easily come down under 46s. If it starts to start to stay above it, obviously that's a clear breakout above 46s. Yeah, now I would consider this definitely 46 is broken, so stronger. Um, where's our pins? I was looking at pins. Not very clear. It's not. The only clear thing was here when I looked at it, but I was too late on it. Hood, as I mentioned, guys, if anything, I am looking. Let's see how weak it got. So after this pullback happened, which was extremely um, like it goes to show that it's actually not a pullback. It's almost a reversal, because from this move, it should really not pull back 61%. If anything, yeah, 50% bounce, 38% bounce is fine, but more than 60% pullback is clear sign of weakness and a reversal. So I did mention it here. Yeah, short might be an opportunity. That's why I put this line here. If it did break that, as you can see, I mean, it broke it, and you know, right, we're trading at about 59s now. So that's Hood for you. I haven't traded Hood because I know it's huge, and I mean, we're looking at spread is not bad. It does widen sometimes. I think you can't hear me, Jessica. You're right. What are you up to? You trading anything? Imagine me talking all day long and nobody can hear me. That'll be funny. Oh, okay, I was gonna write whether you can hear me or not. You can hear me, right? Nice, nice. 3 wins, 2 losses. Okay, so 3 wins. Hopefully, if I had 3 wins, 2 losses, I'll be really happy. Because my usually, yeah, if you've seen my short recaps, my winners are almost 3, 4, 5s compared to my losers. I don't settle with 1-on-1. I don't settle with 1-on-2. So that's good. It's a great idea to know when you want to stop, but sometimes we don't really, when we get too hooked into trading, we don't really realize that, you know, we are zoomed in. So it's nice to actually sit back, lay back, and you know, start looking at your rules. That's why you need the rules to actually guide you when you need to stop. That's the most difficult thing as well, you know, knowing when to stop. And I struggle with it even now, but I have a rule which works out if I follow it. If I follow it, it works out really nicely. Which is, if I get 3 consecutive losers, 3 reds in a row, I will stop. Because my reds are really small, and when I risk, I risk really small. Sometimes it could be like 7 cents, 8 cents, 10 cents. And, you know, once I hit that 3 reds, I just shut everything down. I don't even think. Like, that's one of my hardcore rules. So far, I haven't broken it for a while. Hopefully, I'm not planning to break it. Today seems like it might be. So, Yeah, it was. It happens. I mean, big losers come and go, and big winners will come as well. But you just gotta, um, when you're starting out, definitely start small. What I would say is, like, if you really want to risk $100 a trade, let's say you want to risk $100, risk $20. That's what I would say, Jessica. Because first of all, obviously, you need to find your edge. If you don't find your edge, you're just like, you're just throwing the money out, you know, without just knowing where you're throwing it to, and are you buying something with it or so. Um, just make sure you find your edge. If you have I mean, if you might have a strategy, work through that strategy, go for the back tests, and also your live trades. You want to record them as a journal. Like, you can use online journaling like TraderView, TradeViz. Um, yeah, start small. Is that what is that what you mean by yeah? I mean, small could be like $20. I actually, I know people who really sort of do well with a $20 risk. I've tried it myself. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, because my system requires me to take quite a few partials. It's very difficult for me to actually risk $20. If I risk like $100, it's great because I can take multiple 100 shares, 1,000 shares, things like that, and I take my partials along the way. It's very, very um, productive for me. RR, risk to reward. Yeah, I mean, is that what you mean, like risk to reward? What's my RR? What do I look for, you mean? Oh, okay. For me, it has to be there. The potential has to be there for a 5R minimum. That's it. It has to. It has to have a potential for a 5R move. No, if I risk $20, Jessica, I'm looking for 100. Um, Sometimes it's more. Don't get me wrong. I have hit quite in rare circumstances, but it's great to hit that. I've hit 20R, so I've risked $10. Sorry, 10 cents. I don't talk in dollars. I talk in cents. How much I risk, because everybody's different. You might have, let's say, 1,000 shares. Somebody else might take 10,000 shares. So if we talk in cents, it's better because you can always calculate it from your perspective. So I did hit 10 plus quite a few times, actually quite regularly, but I hit 20 plus as well, which is great to see, having risked 10 cents and you're getting $2 plus. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Not necessarily for squeezes. I hit it once on a squeeze, yes, for sure. But I hit it on the washes as well, shorting stuff. Yeah, you'll be surprised, yeah, Jessica. It depends. It all depends on your watch list, on your dailies. What sort of price, what sort of watch list do you have? If you watch something, for example, let me show you the reason why I have these watch lists where my watch lists are, right here. All of these, all of these has potential to give me huge risk to reward if I take the right setup. all of these, because they are in play. They're all in play. They're not boring. That's what I mean. Like, they're not boring. If I put, like, let's say, what can I put? Give me a name of a stock, you know, just random stock. By the way, SPY is looking like a nice short. I'm watching SPY. Keep an eye on SPY, guys. 43960s. 43960s. Okay. SPY's daily is not very juicy, to be honest, but the short scenario. ERYK. Oh. Let me have a look from my side. I just don't keep boring. So that's the problem. I just don't. Okay, wait, Nicola. It's not the best example, but this is my daily. Can you see the daily chart here on the left, where my mouse is? Actually, let me expand this. Okay, so on this one, what is the average? 13 to 12. It's only $1 move, Jessica. For the past, let's say, months and months, it's only given, you know, at best $1 moves. So I'm not gonna put that on my watch list, because if I am risking, let's say, 20 cents, let's say there's a short here right about now, 1077s with a stop of 1087, that's 10 cents. But out of that 10 cents, is it possible for it to move like a dollar? Yes, it is, but you are catching the meat of the move, not the top to the bottom. You have to consider that as well. So for me to actually look at it, it has to be, if it had like $2 moves, for example, these moves, then maybe. But having said that, have a look at these ones. Look at these, like 42s, 43. This is not a great example. 42 20s, 43 70s. Look, last days. These are okay, but the last 2 days are very important. In last 2 days, what did it do? 43 20s to 45 46s. So moves quite a bit, and also the way it's overextended. That's why it's helped me made the decision to keep it on my watch list, because I'm looking for shorts mostly on these. So let's say pins. Yep, pins same. UAA, look at SQ on, same thing. SAVA, huge moves. I mean, we're talking 145 to that's $45 moves, or $50 move, that is. You know, everything, you see, ARCT 39s to 60s. So chances of this moving quite big is quite high. So what I mean to say is, I don't just look at this gappers, obviously. By the way, it's really moving nicely here. 28 20s. I've got a very simple scanner, Jessica. I can share it with you if you want. I just look at the yesterday's move. I don't care what it did 2, 3, 4, 10 days ago. No, I care what it did yesterday, because what does, so if it's done really good yesterday, then everybody knows what that stock is, so everybody's trading it. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of eyes on it, So I am looking at SPY, by the way. I was telling earlier, I'm looking at SPY, guys. I might take a little stab at it. 49.55s to 49.65s. We're talking 10 cents move, guys. Sorry, 10 cents risk. But right now it's bouncing off. If 439.65s break, we don't have a trade. But if it starts to hold, guys, I'm gonna take some. I'm waiting for if the low of 439.54s gets taken out, then I'll start to look in. Yeah, it's bouncing now, so we're gonna wait for it. But there is a potential for a short. Keep an eye on this. There is a short opportunity here. Yeah, it's bouncing off, so we might leave it for a while. Yeah. Yes, that's the exactly that's the point, Jessica. It needs to run out of momentum. The stocks that I actually trade, you might have noticed, let's say for example this AMD. I actually didn't take this AMD as a watch list for a long. It's actually for a short. Longs, Zella maybe. Zella was a long. AMC both sided. PFE definitely short. Pins was it's different. It was two-sided. UAA was short. Those I don't know why I kept SQ. I'm gonna take that out, guys. On definitely short. ARCT also short. Most of those are short. Some of them are long biased, but yeah, 80% of them are short. For longs, you want to have okay, for longs there's two ways to find stocks for it. One is let's say it had a really good let me try to find something for today. Zella maybe. Okay, now if you look at Zella's move, on this one you have to look at the big picture. Okay, we had the big move. Everybody knows it's a mover. Not a great mover, but a few weeks ago it did move, but it did retrace back big time. Now once they do retrace back and then starts to hold like this here, and let's say for example this zone of ours, I love using zones because that's just, yeah, so this zone of ours is a chop, basically settling down before it actually makes another move. So these kind of sort of scanners you can create for let's say for example if a stock pulls back certain percentage from its highs, you can keep it there. That's why I kept it, because yesterday as well, if you look at it, yesterday it started to move and started to create some volume, as you can see. So today I really expected this to be continuing, honestly, but because it didn't, that means my idea of strength on this strong stock is not there. So I don't mind looking for shorts as well after it doesn't do what I expected to do. So, and that's one way to look at it. The other way is for long stocks. For example, let's see. Okay, hood is perfect. Just forget about today, right? Let me just try to bring. I can't bring it. Just ignore today. You see what the strength of yesterday's move? You know where it closed? That's the only day it showed strength. Okay, all the other days it was just like, okay, rangy, slide up, slide down, that's fine. But this is the only day that made something completely clear that yes, it is strong and ending up strong. This is very important. If I have something, if this ends up here, that's not strong, but this was strong. Now, if today this stock is breaking the yesterday's highs or even close and is starting to bring some volume in, that's your long there, because that's a second day runner. Second day runners are always um, quite strong, quite strong if you can find the right stock. So you can use these momentum dailies as well for longs. The reason why I wasn't looking for longs on AMD is I couldn't, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 extreme, not extreme, but like really good green days. Let's consider that. I mean, I can't trade that long. That's just my nature. It just doesn't make sense for me to trade it long, overextended stocks like that. I will definitely happily short this today if SPY actually helps it. But let's talk about longs now. Forget about this. You see, concentrate on this one. Let's say maybe I cannot bring that, but let me just do that. Okay, here we go. Right. Now, you see the difference? This could be your scanner, Jessica. This is all the scanner you need. Perfect example. Look, it's been trading fine, range bound. Um, it's doing its thing. But what has changed in this day? What has changed? Obviously, there was an earnings followed. This was followed by the earning. That's even better. That's even better clarity for you, because it ended up closing very strong, right? And look at the volume. That's telling you that there's a lot of interest in the long side on this stock. So basically, in short, it's extremely strong. So what do? You scan these kind of sort of variables to find these stocks, and next day you only look for longs on this. Next day you look for longs. Look, any longs you would have taken would have worked out on it. Well, I mean, it might not have, but you had more chances. You see what I mean? I don't put pre-market too much of a emphasis on the pre-market. No, I will only do that for stocks that are gapping up. For example, BYSI. Let me just put it on. That's only for intraday, not for daily. Daily, I don't consider at all the pre-market action. Only for intraday. For example, this one. BYSI was a really strong gapper until 45s. Okay, imagine this was trading like this. Let me just put that. Um, so something like that. If it starts to trade, right now, if you start to trade like that, yeah. So I'm sure a lot of people got burned, Jessica. You're not the only one. I'm sure a lot of people. That's the nature of the business. But anyways, if it was staying above its highs, closer to the highs, it will show me strength. And this is the only time I'll use the pre-market high as an area for me to rely on if it starts to break above that. Maybe for entry, maybe to pull back to for another entry. So otherwise, I don't really pay attention too much on the pre-markets. Were you here when I was talking about 200 EMA, Jessica? Because you mentioned you mentioned the 10-20 cents you like to scalp. I was wondering, have you really tried that 200 EMA strategy, or anything to do with 200 EMA? No? Yeah, I'm trying to sort of understand your last question. Um, which one, as in like a gap? If something is gapping up, how do you know whether it's strong or weak? That's really good, because you have to understand that. Um, if I look at, for example, when I looked at BYESI, because I wasn't gonna trade it long, I was looking at it here, Jessica. I was looking at it here as it was trading. You can actually make a rule, quite simple rule, which is, if this gapper is starting to trade under a VWAP, I'm not actually going to take long at all on it. In fact, it's weak. It shouldn't come under VWAP. In most cases, if a successful gap continuation happens, it will never come back to a VWAP. Especially, I mean, it will, but especially at the open. What I mean is, it will start trading. The higher the stock is close to the pre-market highs at the open, the stronger it is. Simple as that. That's one of the variables. But then also you have to look at your, for example, the float on it, and how much volume is bringing in, and how much more volume it actually moves it, things like that. But that's the idea. That's the idea. The strong one I will show you, if I can, here. Don't worry, Jessica. It's fine. I mean, look, I myself, um, when I talk about these things, it's actually a reminder to myself, because sometimes we feel like on the back of our minds we know these things, but when I start talking about it, it actually um, sort of puts a concrete on the um, mentally, so yeah, I'm really right. Anybody who's interested, I really like to explain, because it actually makes sense to me. If it doesn't make sense to me, then I am wrong. That's what I take, like, from it. But yeah, when we were talking about gaps, say for example, this is the gap area and it's gapping up. This example will be strong. You see the volume, right? And it's trading above the pre-market high. That's the pre-market high. What you can do as well is put a pre-market high, uh, like what I normally do is I'll put a pink dashed lines, or dotted lines, like that. That's my pre-market high. Anything that's close to it is showing me sign of strength. And also you can add, let's say, 20 EMA. I love 20 EMA, by the way. That will show you, if it's staying above that 20 EMA, it is actually strong. Now if it starts to, let's say, I mean, it's still strong. As you can see, it's just broken out that level, right? It's still strong in my opinion. Now I will consider, okay, now I'm like a bit iffy on it. Oh, that wash, I don't like that. I don't like that. But it's still pre-market. You gotta keep watching it. You gotta keep watching. You can't rule it out. Just because it went under and over doesn't mean that it's actually completely weak. No, it doesn't have to be. It has to show you if it's weak. Now it's reclaimed. That means your original idea was there, is strong. Okay, now again it's testing that VWAP. Alright, we want to see whether it's going to hold or not. Well, it's holding nicely, right? And it's coming back under. And now you say, okay, I'm not taking long on it at all. No, because what it did was it completely got rejected from the recent lower high, created another lower high, and it just washed. No, I don't like it. So you can actually cross this off your list for a long, but it's still open. It's still pre-market. You see this. Okay, say, well, okay, now I can think about it. You see what I mean? Like, um, that that was just a one-off thing, but that's Robinhood for you. But what I mean is, this is not the best example, but what you want to see is something like this. You see here, right at the open, not before. If I saw that here, I would have probably taken long on it. And forget about the daily, whatever the daily looks like, because usually on the on gappers, you don't look at the daily that much. This would have been great. Say, for example, we had kind of a little bit. Right. You see here, around 30s. Right now, if the market was to be opening in about next 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I'll watch this like a hawk. Right? This is extremely strong. As you can see, first move, a little bit volume, and then that pullback. How do you know this is a pullback, not a reversal? Look at the volume. Okay? Let me just do that. So volume rising on the move up. On the pullback, we have decreasing volume. That goes to show that there's not much interest on it going down. There's more interest on this stock going up. So right about now, if I was watching this and the market was about to open, I'll be very strongly long biased on it over 32s. Right? Something like that. I mean, it might be a bit too honestly, maybe I shouldn't be like, I don't know how your experience is, but don't rush it. Take whatever you can from it. If something doesn't make sense to you, it doesn't mean that you're not understanding it yet. I mean, it means that you're not understanding it yet, but you will get there. Trust me. Because these things that I'm saying, some of it might be like later down the line you will really understand what I mean. But at least if you understand the basic concept of what I'm trying to tell you, what shows a strength, what shows a weakness in a stock, that's what matters, and you can build upon that. That's the foundation you can build upon. So for example, okay, we have Momo scanners here over on the left side. You know, we have Momo scanners. Okay, let me just give you one example. Now I'm just going to check this. Okay, not interested. Not interested. 1 second it took me. Okay, AMD, I know AMD. Right? Hood, I know. Nikola, I know. UA, look, all of these are on my, almost all of them are on my watch list, apart from this, AGFY. As soon as I looked at it, I said no interested. There will be a point where you start to see charts and price action continuously, and then you will see charts like these, and you will say, no interested. That's how you will make your watch list, and you will filter a lot of bad stocks out. And then once you start to have these list of stocks that are gonna give you those R's, that's when the real that's when you really start trading. So hopefully we'll get you there sooner than later. Hopefully. Let me have a look at your questions because I got lost in the explanation. Yeah. Okay. Let's discuss that. All right. Um, so for me, overall chart, as soon as I look at it, I just don't like the price action. Why might not? Why do I not like it? Okay, as you mentioned yourself, low volume. Initially, you will see this on every stock, anyways. That's the open, but just not. There's nothing there, right? And also, it's not just a chop. If you look closely after open, let's say after open, you see these, Jessica, these white ones. These are dojis, dojis, continuous dojis. That's just that's not how do you say, lack of interest, right? This stock is not attracting people, so there's no demand for it. So I'm just gonna leave it alone. So if I trade this one, for me to enter will be difficult. For me to exit will be difficult. It's like paint dry. Exactly that. Honestly, this is if you look at these kind of stocks and you tell yourself, it's actually a paint dry. Watching a paint dry. That's it. Leave it alone. Right? Then you trust me. You this on itself will save you a lot of headache and maybe a lot of losses as well, or bad wins. Yes. Yes, Jessica. Yeah, it's above 200, 20 AMA. If you want to really keep it rule based, anything over 20 EMA is quite strong. Anything dipping under it, if is washing properly, like for example, let me find an example for you. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so AMC. Initially, we thought it was strong. Okay, it was about to bounce. Um, it came back down. It was still above 20 EMA, and VWAP started to bounce again. Created these lower highs this here, and when this wash happened, that's clear sign for me. I am not taking long on this at all. Once this finished, this wash, have a look at the wash itself compared to the previous ones. Much bigger, much more conviction behind it. That just tells me that okay, this stock has given up for at least for now. I'm not saying it's not going to bounce back, but for now, I am short biased on it. If I had seen this, actually one of my setup right here, I would have taken it short. 100% I would have taken that short, but I didn't see it. Anyways, so that's what I mean. Like this is a good example. Like initially, when I saw this, right about now, oh, okay, it's going. Maybe today is the day. It's gonna bounce nicely. Um, Comes back down to VWAP. VWAP holds, bounces back again, gets rejected a little bit, but we don't know whether this is actually a rejection or it's going to continue. And then we wait for that confirmation. Okay, we're saying okay, it's creating nice little flag or pennant right here, right here, and oh, nope, I'm not touching this for long. In fact, I'm looking for shorts. And if you do stay, I mean, over here, you will notice that I'm actually quite quick on changing my bias. That was one of my big steps in trading. Changing your bias instantly if something is wrong. If you are saying that this stock has to do this, and if it does not do it, then you have to change, because you're going into that mentality where you're sticking to your bias no matter if it's showing the other um, complete opposite. So you have to think things a little bit logically, um, and also like put a what if scenario. For example, if you see my trades before I enter, I will say, okay, let's say for example I am entering this trade. I say to the stream, I say, guys, I'm interested in AMC. It's washed down under VWAP very strongly, a lot of conviction there. I'm waiting for it to pull back to 35.25's VWAP area. I want to see how it reacts. Now if it starts to reject from there, I'm going to take short. Now every time I'm calling out this to the stream, and if the stream is not there, I'm calling out to myself. So what I'm saying is, okay, this is what's going to happen. All right, that's for the entry, right? And then, even before that, in the back of my mind, okay, 34.50 is going to be somewhere where I can put my stop behind that. So that's what I've already decided. Now I say, okay, I want to see how it rejects from there. Now if it doesn't, I already know the scenario. What if it doesn't? What if it continues up? Well, there's no trade. You see what I mean here? So always what if scenarios. What if this does that? What am I going to do? What if this does against what you think is going to do, what you're going to do? So in this case, I would have definitely, seeing this itself, rejection of 35.25s, definitely over here somewhere I would have taken this short, and then put my stop as soon as this happened, put my stop over 34.40s, and then let it run. But yeah, there's quite a lot of things to obviously observe, but you're trying to learn, you're doing putting an effort to learn, which is what matters. Eventually you'll get there, trust me. Yes and no. On the last question, it is difficult. It gets very difficult in the beginning, but for you to progress really fast, I keep saying this to a lot of people who have been asking me, how do you start, how do you grow faster? You want a routine. Okay, even if you're doing something wrong, Jessica, don't change anything. Even if you think it's wrong, but don't put obviously real money on it until you realize that there's an edge on it. What I mean to say is, if you create a routine, let's say you're looking for specific type of, I'll show you actually, SPY. Let's say you want to trade only SPY, and you want to trade 200 EMA bounce, right? 200 EMA bounce. When it reaches 200 EMA, I'm gonna short it. Sorry, under 200 EMA, it bounces off to 200 EMA. I'm gonna short it. Over 200, comes back down, I'm gonna long it. Simple as that. Like something like that. Start doing that over and over and over again. Now what you will notice on this one is you will start to break even. You will start, if it's a good strategy, you will start to break even. You will start to lose less, and your win to loss ratios will start to even out as well. Now what you can do after that is, once you're really comfortable with this, then you move on to next phase of trial, which is, okay, I know when it works, certain times it works, certain ways the market moves it works, but certain ways when it moves it actually doesn't work. For example, on usually on 200 moving average, if it does come back from far away, like from extended areas, and if it hits it, that's when it gets stopped. You understand what I'm saying? Every time it goes and comes back to 200 EMA from an extended price, In this case, let's say from here, yeah, from no, from here to 200, right? You see how it got rejected? Yeah, that's the result of that rejection. Okay. Now, anytime it comes from a small pullback, let's say if there's your 200 EMA and the price is not too far from away from it, you see, not much really. Oh, yeah, I mean, 200 EMA is watched by a lot of funds, a lot of algo trading. Have a look. I mean, this right now, you know, at the moment over here, there's nothing else but 200 EMA, but it's still trying to hold because there's a lot of algo trading happening at this area here. And it's not just algo; it's a lot of, as I said, a lot of big money is watching 200 as well. They like to watch that and also VWAP. That's why I have those two, and 20 as well. Most of the funds watch it. So as you can see, yeah, that 200 is still holding because you know what? It's coming back from a stretched area, and now it's pausing. Um, Over here, as you can see, like not too far from it, and comes back. Even here, if you pay attention to this area here, like have a look at this area. You know, one bounce, two bounce, almost third bounce. This might have been a bounce as well. Right here, I mean, right here. One bounce, two bounce, maybe this was a bounce as well. So, you know, something like that. I'm not like, if you wanna take away any, if you were to ask me, give me a setup that I can work on, maybe try 200 EMA and test it out, and you will soon realize that, oh, okay, certain dailies it actually doesn't work. You will start to find these filters. Once you have enough filters to actually save you from a lot of chop, then you've got a proper setup system. And then I will tell you, okay, Jessica, if you have 200 EMA cornered, properly understood, now what I would like you to do is add this to it, right? Then I'll give you something else, or you can add yourself something else, like let's say, for example, just giving you an example, let's say if 200 EMA is close to VWAP, create a zone. Okay, that's why I like zones, because it's not just one number, it's a zone area. Consider this as a zone, right? If these two things are happening at the same time, it's a really nice confluence. If 20 EMA is there, if 440, if it was close over here, perfect. Look where it's coming up to. What is that? 440, round number, big numbers, huge numbers. These numbers will be always interesting. Look at this. What do we have here? 439s. Oh, 100%, Jessica, 100%. I cannot stress this enough. When you're trading, if you're looking at the stock that you're just about to pull the trigger, ask yourself, if this stock goes and does this, what happens then? What's my decision? If this stock does the opposite, what is my decision? Where do I stand? You have to answer those questions. Do me a favor. From now on, ask these questions to yourself all the time. Even if you don't trade that stock, get used to asking this question. Maybe watch my videos, recap videos. I know it's really boring, just I know I'm not a YouTuber, okay? It's extremely boring, I understand, but there are some golden nuggets to find from them, and I make it available for free. Everything is very transparent with me because I want people to understand that the free information is out there. You just need to do a little bit of work. You just need to know where to look. I'm trying to give people, some. I don't want to, look. I could easily tell you, Jessica, here's my setup. Take it and use it. No, you know what? With that, you're not gonna. You're never gonna take that setup and take it seriously. You understand? But if I tell you, Jessica, look, I've got a setup, and its win rate is about 50+%, and you're looking at 4 hours and 5 hours and 10 hours, but I'm charging 5 grand for it, then you will take it seriously, right? that's how I think. That's not just you, that's how I think. That's how we are made. Like, we appreciate things when we put value or number to it. When it's free out there, we don't tend to think that, oh, is that valuable? No, maybe not. That's what we think. So I just, that's why watch the videos. Every single videos of those I've created. If you watch the trades happening and also before the trade, if you really want to go deep, if you like a video on that, for example, you like the video, let's say, a specific trade like Zella trade or SGOC trade or whatever, Neo trade, find that day and go through that day's live stream and find that trade happening before and see my thoughts and watch my thoughts, how I'm what am I saying, what am I thinking, why is he saying this? And then you come and ask me, you come and ask me, like, why did you say that, and then that's when you will learn really quickly. I think that's probably a better way to. Because I don't know about everybody else, but I am more of a visual learner. If I see something and somebody's explaining me, I learn it really, really quickly. But if I have to read something without any charts or any examples on it, then I just lose it. So it's much easier for me to remember if I actually see as it's happening. Oh, 100%. Absolutely, 100%. Live stream, I don't think there are live streams out there that provide transparency and help. As far as I know, there's not many. But that's one of the reasons as well I started this whole thing, because there's a lot of I've been getting a lot of questions lately about how to get started, how is there a mentor, can you be my I don't need to be anybody's mentor, but if they're really interested, they will look beyond what's this channel doing. They will look beyond the quality of the videos. They'll look at the value that it's going to bring to them, especially if you're starting out. And eventually you will get to a point where you will say, oh, you will actually start to contribute to the community, which will be hopefully community of really genuine traders. That's my goal, actually. That my goal is to create with this channel, if I have 50 traders trading my setup or their setups, but whichever, we're gonna have to test, obviously, but at the moment it will be my setups. If they all have similar mentality or seriousness in this field, then you know one of my goals will be accomplished, because having a community of traders, like-minded traders, is an excellent thing to be around, even for people who have been doing this for years and years and decades. They still need that community belonging. Oh, I wanna start this channel to grow it as a community. That's my plan. I want to see um, if I can find, let's say, if I find like 10, or if we can make up to 50 good traders from this community, from this channel. Eventually, it'll take time, maybe years, but that will be one of my goals accomplished, because then I can really sort of hone in on some serious strategies where we can apply them together. You know, um, I mean, look at this SPY. You know, one rejection from EMA, two rejection, three rejection, four rejections. Um, it's that serious, basically, that 200 EMA. Current community, I just don't have. I like to go to Reddit, sometimes help around, and I do go some Facebook groups as well, help around there, and yeah, anybody who's basically who's interested and who's serious. I really like people who are really passionate and serious about things. Yeah, Reddit. It is fun. It's fun to be around. But hopefully, you know, sooner than later, like within 6 months' time, we will have um, some serious traders. We are actually trading together. And what I would really like is over here on this chat. Yes, genuine, nice questions, and we talk about things. But when we're really trading, at the moment it's very quiet. I can see my charts. Apart from SPY, nothing else is moving. Um, People will be writing, "Oh, YB, look, we have, let's say, Zella moving, this, that." You know, we want a constant feedback of what people are watching and response. And once we have that, then we don't need scanners. You know, you really don't need scanners, to be honest. But yeah, if you do have any questions, come along. Like you can ask any about anything. I'm not, you know, too fussed. I will try to explain it as easy and as simple as I can. But if I don't, then you can always give me feedback. You know, maybe I'm thinking of the answers my way. Sometimes you have to think. Like for example, um, yeah, one of um, one of my cousins' children were asking me about trading, and I was explaining them. At first, I was explaining, and it wasn't making sense. Well, it was making sense to me, but they were not understanding. And then I had to approach it completely differently. So I had to be kind of like a child for me to explain. So I explained them in games examples, or things like real live examples. I started to talk about, let's say, for example, whatever I saw there, I pointed out, okay, this is Apple stock, you know, and I want to sell it. This is what bid does. This is what ask is. I was just showing them actually real life what that means, and then they understood. So sometimes you have to change the approach 100% if somebody doesn't get it. When I started trading, I used everything. There's not a single thing I don't know a little bit about. And for me, I didn't have a good guide. Just I wasn't lucky enough for me to find. You know, back in the days, we're talking 2014s. I started actually 2010s with the foreign exchange. Um, there's a short, by the way, on SPY. I'm not taking it. Don't worry about it. There was a short here, but there it goes. So what I mean is, I tried everything. There was nobody to tell me, look, you don't need all of those things. I thought the more you know about these indicators, tools, scanners, the better you are off. Um, but these days, whoever's starting now are lucky, in my opinion, because there's a lot of help out there, genuine help, honestly. Like for example, Reddit. Most of the time, when they're trying to sort of help people, it's a genuine sort of concern to help. Back in the days, anytime you wanted help, they would sort of send you their bank details straight away. Like, okay, this is my bank details, you know, just chip in some, everything was that. Um, but if I remember correctly, I started out with obviously understanding the basics, because I was trading forex, foreign exchange at that time. I I started to really be technical, like extremely technical, like moving averages, CCIs, MACDs, and RSIs, and I would have all these indicators, filters, and this and that. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, but I just didn't find a clear edge by doing that. So I started to slowly divert away from all that confusion to something that I thought it makes sense. Like for example, I've been using 200 EMA and 20 EMA forever. Like there might not have been a point in my trading where I actually left it completely alone for, like, let's say months. I might have left it for the sake of a change for a few weeks maybe, but not for months. So 20 200 EMA VWAP is always been there, and it's been there for years, because I know a lot of people, majority of traders out there use it, even bank traders. So that's and whatever you see here, Jessica, whatever you see in this chart is exactly what I have. So exactly what I trade. I have 20 EMAs, VWAP, 200 EMAs. Uh, this is the chart that I have set up for my in my laptop, my trading platform. Exactly the same way. So the reason why it's there is actually it makes sense to me, and it's important for me to have it. I hope that's what you meant by tools. Um, did you mean something else by tools? Like it could be scanners as well, right? Yeah, I like to look at 1 minute daily, and sometimes 5 minutes. At the open, until now, I will still look at 1 minute. I don't even look at 5 minutes. That's my style. I My style is basically chasing momentum. So the best way to find momentum or gauge a momentum stock is 1 minute, I think. 5 minutes is too big for a momentum chase. At least the way I chase. For example, When I looked at this and I said short here, well, let me show you on 5 minutes. Would I have said the same thing? Maybe not. Yeah, you see, maybe not. Maybe now I would say short. You know, um, these 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 price actions I need to go in a bit in detail. Actually, that's not 5 minutes. This is 5 minutes. There you go. I wouldn't have said short there. No way. So depends how fast you want to trade. But having said that, I'm not a fast. By all means, I'm not a fast trader. I might be fast in looking at the moves. So I want to see quick, fast moves. But entry and exits, no, I take my time. Of course, I take my time. I rely on the very important areas to be interested in a stock, not just anywhere. Yeah, that's a great way. That's you're in the right place. Just keep, keep at it. The momentum chase. Look, that's where your edge is, Jessica. You will get to a point where you wouldn't need indicators if you chase momentum, right? I'll show you what I'm looking at. Okay, I'll give you an example. AMD, not much happening. Not much happening. Zella, AMC, not much happening at the moment. PFE, not much happening. Okay, SPY might be something, and not much happening here. Not much happening here. Why do I say that? And when I say not much happening, that means that there's no potential for any trades yet, because the momentum isn't there. Although this looks like it, but no, that's actually not a momentum. Yeah, I'll show you a momentum. Let me give you an example of momentum. This is a momentum. How do I zoom in? This here is a momentum. That's what you want to chase. What happens after this is what you want to be concerned about, not what happened. Where did it go? Sorry. Let's say right here. That's although this here is momentum. I might be lying if I say that, but from here to here, nothing, no interest, no thanks. But have a look at UAA, for example. Isn't that different to what it's been doing? Isn't this different to what it's doing now? I mean, what it was doing? Clearly, look at the volume. What's happening to it? Now is catching my attention. Now I'm interested in it. Right? So I will always, this is momentum. That's a panic. That's even better. I love these, you know. I'm trying to look at things that if I can see anything else. I am looking at this one, UAA, and see if I can. UA. The daily looks okay for a short. It's been extended. It's breaking down. It got rejected from 2470s. However, the volume went down a bit, but then on this wash, huge volume came in. But let's watch the bounce. How does the bounce react to this wash? If the bounce starts to hold, the volume is coming in. So if it starts to continue, there might be a real move. So it's interesting. This one is quite interesting actually for a nice short. 2450s. So what I want from this is 2450s holding, if that holds, and then if that doesn't hold, then at least 2455s and 60s needs to hold. If those start to hold, then we've got a trade. Either way, if those two holds, we have a trade. if we do take it, the stop is going to be just over 2465s, and then our target obviously is VWAP. So you can see clearly, like I've already look at that. That's your risk to reward. You see, if it doesn't give me that, then I wouldn't even consider it. That's your short there. It's already working. Now once this starts to work like that, I'll ask myself, if is it a strong enough move down from this low here? Has it actually broken it properly? If the answer is yes, then I'll put my stop here, 2450s. Now if it closes like this, then the answer will definitely be yes. Okay, does that make sense? Right now you're actually watching a live explanation of a trade. 100% trend reversal, 100%. Why did I look on this UAA and not anything else? Because the dailies are overextended. You've got 2 days, yes, but 3 days is a cycle that you normally get. On the third day, usually a reversal of some sort happened. But from the price action, I saw that this was more interesting. From the way it actually showed me that yes, I was sleeping here, but now I've woken up. Now I want to go for a run. That's what it's telling me. Or I want to dive. That's better explanation actually. So this is like example of roller coaster. One of those roller coasters. Just have you ridden one of those? It takes you up, grind you up, and up and slowly, really slowly. Yeah, it takes its time, and it's exactly the same thing, and it just stalls you there and makes you look down. Holds you there for like 10 seconds and then boom. So if you want to use that analogy, maybe. Yeah, this I didn't take it myself. I wanted actually, I was a bit greedy on it. I wanted this bounce to be a little bit higher, close to moving average, 2450s. So I missed it. Yeah, 100%. You can't just say it's overextended. Now trend reversal is gonna come. No, you will get hurt really bad, because there are. I mean, let's say for example you've done it on AMD. For days you would have been chopped out on it. Right, for days. But if it did produce a clear sign like this, as I said, all throughout the day, this is the price action you saw. Even when it broke that EMA here, the only time it broke the 20 EMA was here, but that was not a conviction. That was not different from this price action. But once we saw this, everything else changed. Like, there's a huge change in the perspective of this stock. That's when I, it's as simple as that as well. Like, if you just need to pay attention to details a little bit, but then again, it will come on time. Like, it's gonna take a while, but you will eventually start to see these things. Like SQ. Where's SQ? SQ is not a great one for me. Even though there's a momentum coming in, but the problem with this one is VWAP and 264 area, and we've got not much actually, just a VWAP. But the thing have changed on SQ. quite clearly you can see that the shift in the way prices moving has changed. Over here, nice grind up, slow grind up, but over here a dive. So there, this is a start of for you to look for something. This might be a pullback, quick pullback, or people are getting back into it and pulling it down to VWAP so they can pick it up or keep the momentum going. Or it could just be it's actually a reversal. A lot of people actually thought that this was going to climb up, creep up, break the highs. It's not. So what they have done is they are dumping their shares. This is a dump, and they're just leaving it. And maybe more short sellers are coming in while it's being dumped here, and that's why it's creating this whole emotional move. One of the other things, indicators that are really important is VWAP. When same way as the 200 EMA, when it comes back to VWAP really strongly, like with momentum, if it starts to hold, the VWAP starts to hold, then that means that momentum as actually was just a fake one. Like that was just either fat finger or it was just one-off thing. It actually wouldn't have a continuation if it starts to actually hold up the VWAP. But if it starts to break VWAP with some force and stays under it and starts breaking, trading under it, then that goes to show you that yes, stock is weak. It's already reversed. But anyways, UAE, this was the trade that I was mentioning here. Stop goes here right about now. Honestly, over here, just before 24, could take some out, but you want to see how it reacts. It wants to break that low though, 24.16s. Yeah, 24.16 is gonna get broken. 24.15s now, 14s are getting broken. There you go. See, I'm actually watching the tape. That's why I'm able to say that. Otherwise, there's no way to say it in the chart itself. There you go. Now you can take some out. If you were in it, just take some out before 24, and then put your stop here, and you've got a really good running. That's all you need. Just one trade, and then let it go to your target, which is just below 24s. Once it starts breaking 24s, it might have a nice wash to VWAP, which will be your target. That's when the trying to learn level 2 comes in play. But don't worry about it too much. If you're not comfortable learning level 2, leave it alone. The chart also will start to tell you, but just slightly a second later. Like which one I was watching? SQ. SQ. So basically, let's say this is the same scenario as our UAA. Okay, not exactly the same, but let's say things have changed here. Okay, things have changed. Now we have an interested area, which is a VWAP. Okay, it's bouncing off of that first one. That red bar pierced through it, but never came down and finished there. It always it just reclaimed. So it will wick towards the bottom. It might be bigger wick than this, but as long as it's closing above that, that's still showing you that yes, VWAP is actually holding. That's why I always say VWAP is not a line, it's a zone. That's why I like to call my style as a zone trading. I could actually call it trading in the zone, but that'll be copyright. But anyways, that's zone trading for you. With me, you will see a lot of these. You know, just a line is not enough because it's a zone, and people use it as a zone. You want to see how it reacts on that zone. It could be just before it, or it could be under it as well. But in this case, clearly, this emotional move actually never had a continuation. That volume, actually, you know what? Here's the deal. Look at the volume. This is really good, actually. I just noticed it. Look at this move and look at that volume. Look at that move, look at this volume. And look at this move and look at that volume. Well, common sense says this should have, oh, come on. This should have bigger volume, huge volume. But this one has bigger volume than that. What does that tell me? This is actually telling me this could be a reversal. There might have been some profit taking here, but then a lot of buyers piled in on this little bar. That's why this area is strong, because they thought this is an area where we are interested in buying. So that volume is a little bit tricky. If I was short on this, even though there was no VWAP, I'll be a bit worried on it. But I'm just making it hard for you. Don't don't pay attention to those things. Those are a little bit advanced things to know. But hopefully, when the time comes, we can talk about it in more detail. But yeah, as I said, long story short, the chart will also tell you that yes, it's actually a bounce and not a continuation. In this case, the continuation didn't happen. If it was supposed to happen, it would have come quite quickly. That's where my setup comes in play. I look for certain moves, certain ways it reacts, certain ways it rejects from certain levels. A lot of things in that rule book or playbook that I have to tick. If I tick all of them, then there's a trade. Last tick to those rules are tape reading. So tape reading, basically not just this, but level 2 and time and sales. So I combine those two, and as most of the time it will give me a good timing for the entry. Let's say, for example, over here I wanted to enter. Let's say, okay, forget about everything bounce and everything volume, forget about it. This is where my setup is. I'm interested. 265 is rejecting from. Now what I do, everything is checked, everything is fine. I watch the level 2 and time and sales. Once it starts to show me sign of weakness, then that's the last decision making tool. Once I'm happy with that, then I go ahead with the trade. There's no what is it like, oh shit, did I check that, didn't I check it, things like that. By the way, UAA, that's your 24. There you go. 24 second partial taken on it, and then your third partial would be around VWAP. And now definitely the stop would have looked like this over here. Actually, let me show you. Say for example, that's our stop, right? Initially remember initially we had bigger plans for it, so it bounces off 2440s, first entry here. If it does come back up, 2450s. If it starts to hold, this is based off of a big massive change in the perspective of the stock. Why? One, daily is a bit overextended. Second, this wash was very strong compared to before, and there's no other resistance apart from the 2388 areas. Huge risk to reward as well, so I'm interested. Okay, so and then as we talked about, entry, first entry here, second entry here, stop here, right? As soon as it starts moving, you're putting your stop here, because once this low gets taken out with this, that's a viable stop to have. Because if it does come back and stop, gets back to that point, then that means that the stock isn't actually weak enough for your trade. Once it broke this low here, that bar happened, your stop goes here. Once it starts to break, by the way, it hasn't actually broken 24 yet. You know, this wick is not a broken thing. It has to close below it. Once it starts closing below, then you can put your stop here. Not yet. That's risk management for you. But if you had, let's say for example, kinda, yes. I want to see a big massive change in the way that the stock is trading, and there has to be a, how do I explain this? There has to be an emotional move behind it. There has to be a momentum move behind it. Something like this is an emotional move for me, because we're talking, this stock has been doing on average 24.59s to 24. This stock has been doing 10 cents, 5 cents, 10 cents, 5 cents, 10 cents, 5 cents. Now 24.60s to 24.30s, that's 30 cents. So that's like 200%. Is it 200%? Or I don't know, like 3 times more than normally what it's doing. So that's okay, I'm interested now. And then you take it from there basically. With the past data on the 1 minute chart and the day. Daily is important for me because what's considered an emotional move? Okay, emotional move. If you understand this, Jessica, if you understand this concept, it's going to take a while, okay? But bear with me. If you understand this concept of emotional move, you will be far ahead of a lot of people. But honestly, I don't wanna really go into that much detail of this whole thing yet. Just bear with me. I promise I will explain you, but not on the stream. It's different because I don't want people to use like information that is really relevant to me or certain group of people, So yeah, it will take a while for you to understand it, but I will go through it with you. Don't worry, on the side. In fact, 90% of my trade, I would say 80% of my trade comes from this whole concept. Anyways, enough said. Right, okay. So basically I'm gonna be heading out. It's been nice, thanks for the company. Hopefully we will have, as I said, this community will grow a little bit. I want at least 10 serious potential traders in this chat, really sending out their ideas, and we're trading together. That would be amazing. That's the goal. Hopefully, let's get to that point. Hopefully, sooner than later. Um, but I'll keep this whole stream thing is helping me a lot, as I mentioned before as well. So I will, no matter what, I will keep the stream on, because it actually keeps me in check myself. So yeah, definitely. But if anybody is listening to the recordings at any point, yes, do join us in the live room. That's where the real action happens. Right? And we are looking forward to having you in the live stream. Yep, me too. Anyways, take it easy, Jessica, and I will chat to you later, maybe on the DM me. I think you have already done it, so we'll carry on there. Anyways, guys, take it easy. Have a good one. Stay safe out there.